Friends, let me start with a simple question. Seriously, think about it. Have you ever noticed that for some people, life seems to run smoothly, while others feel like they're constantly banging their heads against a wall? Why do some attract opportunities, respect, money, like a magnet, while others, despite all their efforts, stay stuck in the same place? I asked myself this question for a long time, and believe me, having lived more than half my life, I realized something very important, something almost nobody talks about openly. It's not talent, not education, not even connections. It's skills. Skills that shape your life from the inside, but not the ones they teach in school or university. The real ones, the ones passed down through generations, time-tested. My family, ordinary Jewish people with a rich history. We survived wars, emigrations, falls, and rises. I grew up listening to my grandfather, who every Sunday would sit with me on an old leather couch, take out his worn notebook, and say, "Listen carefully, because what I'm going to tell you could save your life." Back then, I didn't always understand his words. They seemed like just stories from the past. But now, when I face challenges myself, I see that it wasn't just wisdom. It was a real map of life, a compass showing the way to anyone willing to see it. Today, I want to share with you 5 skills, 5 that I call the strongest. And these aren't just words. These skills can do more than change your day, more than help you achieve a goal. They can transform your entire life. Why? Because they work like magnets. Magnets that attract opportunities, change how people treat you, and most importantly, change you internally, spiritually, emotionally. I could explain it dryly. Listen, learn, manage your time. You'd hear something, maybe even apply some of it. But if you want to truly feel their power, I want you to hear the stories. Real stories from my life, my family, friends, people I respected. Stories where one skill changes a destiny. For example, imagine a teenager who is afraid to speak, afraid to express his opinion, quiet, withdrawn, ordinary. But if he learns to truly listen, not just hear words, but understand emotions, motives, hidden desires of others, he gains incredible power. People start trusting him. They share secrets, ask for advice, and trust. Friends, is not something you can buy. It's built over years. And the foundation of that trust, the skill of listening. Or another example, a person who keeps making mistakes. Life seems to throw them from one pit to another, but if they learn from their mistakes, see a lesson where others see failure, every fall becomes a step toward success. That's real power, not avoiding mistakes, but extracting knowledge from them. And this is just the beginning. These skills are like keys to doors that many don't even know exist. And if you listen to me until the end, I'll show you exactly which keys to take, how to use them, and what doors they'll open. I know many of you are thinking right now, yeah, more advice I've heard hundreds of times. But these aren't advice. This is time-tested wisdom, experience that survived wars, emigrations, ruin, falls, and victories. And today, I pass it to you, not through textbooks, but through life, through emotions, through practice. So stay with me, because next, I'm going to reveal 5 skills that can truly change your life. Stories that touch the soul, examples that make you think, and concrete tips you can start using right now. Are you ready? If yes, get ready for a journey you won't forget. So, the first skill, the art of listening. You might be surprised, but it's not just about hearing someone's words. True listening means understanding thoughts, emotions, motives. My grandmother used to say, "Listen more, speak less." The world is constantly speaking to you. The key is learning to truly hear. I remember when I was young, working at a small company, arguing with colleagues, trying to prove I was right. Then I noticed the most successful people listen first. They see what drives others, what fears and dreams are inside them. And when I started listening, people began to trust me. They valued my opinion. Opportunities appeared where before it seemed there was no path. Tip: this week, just practice listening. Don't interrupt. Don't respond immediately. Listen not only to words, but also to emotions, tone, gestures. You'll be surprised at how much you'll discover. The second skill, learning from mistakes. Mistakes are generous lessons life gives us. Sometimes too generous. My first business failed. I could have given up, said, "This isn't for me." But I did something different. I analyzed every mistake. And a year later, I started a new project that turned out to be successful. Experience isn't just knowledge. It's the ability to see what went wrong and how to fix it. Tip: don't fear mistakes. Record the lessons. In a month, in a year, you'll see how life starts to change. The third skill, time management. In our culture, there's a saying, time is life. I used to waste hours on meaningless tasks, procrastinate on what mattered, until I realized if you plan your day-important tasks in the morning, meetings in the afternoon, self-development in the evening, time begins to work for you. Tip: keep a daily planner. Every morning, write down your 3 most important tasks. Complete them without excuses. This is the key to productivity and balance. The fourth skill, the art of gratitude. Yes, it may sound cliché, but gratitude is a force that can change your life. It opens doors to new opportunities. Every day I express gratitude for my family, friends, health, experiences. And believe me, this attracts positive events. Even in hard times, even in poverty, find at least one small thing to be thankful for. And life begins to shift. Tip: every day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. And friends, in a month, you'll be amazed how much you've changed internally, how you start noticing more opportunities around you. The fifth skill, the power of small habits. Big goals can sometimes feel intimidating, almost impossible. But small habits are what shape your life gradually, but powerfully. My grandfather often said, "A small spark can start a great fire." For example, I started with one simple habit, reading 10 pages of a book every day. It seemed trivial, but a year later, I had read over 30 books, and knowledge that helped me in work, business, and life. Tip: choose one small habit and do it daily. Morning exercise, meditation, reading, learning a new skill. Small steps lead to huge results over time. Now, let's put it all together. The art of listening helps you understand people, build trust. Learning from mistakes turns falls into lessons. Time management lets you make the most of each day. Gratitude transforms your inner state and attracts opportunities. Small habits turn big dreams into reality. I remember a friend of mine, a successful entrepreneur. He lost everything in one day. He could have given up, fallen into despair, but he remembered these 5 skills: listening to people, learning from mistakes, managing his time, being grateful for the support of his family, and building new habits. A few years later, he rebuilt his business and became stronger than ever. This is not magic. This is the power of skills, tested by life and time. They are available to anyone willing to take action. And most importantly, they always work. Life doesn't change in a single day, but consistency and practice yield results that amaze. Apply these skills step by step, day by day, and you'll begin to notice changes. People will trust you more. You'll become more confident, calmer, and decisive. Mistakes will stop being frightening, and your dreams will start to feel achievable. Friends, remember, these 5 skills are not just advice. They are time-tested wisdom that helped my family survive hardships, build a meaningful life, and they can change your life today if you're ready to act. We've reached the final part of our journey. The 5 strongest skills are already in front of you, but now it's important to connect them into a full picture, to understand how to apply them in practice so that life truly becomes different. First of all, change is a process, not instant transformation. Working on yourself every day. My family often said, life is a garden. If you just look at the soil without watering or caring for it, nothing will grow. The same goes for these 5 skills. They are like seeds. You need to cultivate them, nurture them, and then the results will be impressive. Let's recap. The art of listening opens doors, builds bridges. People are drawn to you. Open their hearts. You learn how to support, help, and be there for others. Learning from mistakes. Failure is not the end. It's the start of a new path. Mistakes are gifts, opportunities to become wiser and stronger. Time management. Time cannot be returned. Planning priorities. It's a tool of freedom. Time becomes your ally, not your enemy. Gratitude changes your inner state, shifts attention from what's missing to what's present, creates inner strength, calm, and confidence. The power of small habits. Small daily steps, real power, 10 pages of reading, 5 minutes of meditation. After a year, you'll be wiser, calmer, more productive, and more confident. And most importantly, all these skills only work together. 1 skill strength in one area, 2 more opportunities, all 5 a true transformation. They intertwine, reinforce each other, creating an effect you feel every day. A real-life example, a friend lost everything at 30. It seemed hopeless. But he started small. He listened, learned from mistakes, planned, expressed gratitude, and built habits. 5 years later, he became a successful entrepreneur with a happy family. He says, "These skills brought me back to life." Friends, this is not an exception. It's a pattern. This power is available to everyone. You don't need millions. You don't need special conditions. You don't need unique talent. You need willingness, readiness to act. Daily practice. Every day, every step, every decision is a chance to change your life. Take a small step today. Start listening more carefully. Record your mistakes. Plan your day. Express gratitude. Build a habit. And one more thing. I'll be sharing new videos with you. Practical techniques, stories, methods to help you master these skills even deeper. Subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, a thought I've learned over the years, life changes not by chance, but by action, by what you do every day, what habits you form, how you respond to difficulties, how you listen, learn, show gratitude, and plan. If you take these 5 skills as the foundation of your life, you'll see. The world changes, you change, and a sense of power, confidence, and happiness comes. Remember, no one but you will take responsibility for your life. Those who are ready to learn, act, and use the power of these skills. They don't just live, they create a life they are proud of. This is true wisdom, a path to a life full of meaning, joy, and success. Act. Start with one small step today, and in time, you'll look back on this moment as the beginning of a new life, created by you, through the power of wise, time-tested skills